Hi everyone, welcome to Tuesday. And obviously every Tuesday we take a look at the performance of the NZSX50 and see how it's been going. Before I jump across and share my screen, it's the normal housekeeping, which is this is for educational purposes only, certainly not intended to be personalised financial advice. For that, you do need to go and have a chat to your own financial advisor. Right, let's take a look. Okay, so up here on the screen, we have got the NZSX50, and I was really keen actually to see how this week was going to transpire, simply because we have had 3 really strong weeks in the New Zealand market. However, this week it's down. It's down for the week. In fact, it opened obviously at the same point where it closed last week, but then it's closed at the same point where the previous week opened. So obviously we could be seeing a little bit of a sort of line of support forming here. Who knows? Only time will tell us. This last little candle here is just what happened on Friday. So it was down about, it says here $65.75 just on Friday, which is nothing to be concerned about. If I look down the bottom here, we have got one little red candle. Obviously, the market's sold off. What is good about that is the fact that there's very little volume on that sell-off. So obviously not a lot of people are interested in trying to take any form of profits at this stage. It's like I said, it's just a little bit of sell-off, so it's nothing to be too worried about. But let's pop our indicators on and see how that's telling us. 30 exponential moving average. At this stage, obviously, the share market has closed below that 30-week moving average. That to me immediately says I do not want to look any further for any share possibilities at this stage. In fact, there hasn't been very many buying opportunities for this entire year just yet. That will change, of course. Right, we'll also put on the 15-week moving average. And I was hoping that the 15 weeks was going to look like it was going to cross through last week, that 30-week moving average. However, we have got a little bit more of a divergence happening with that. And it's a gap has obviously happened. Last week it was very, very close, and it did indicate that perhaps if this week was going to be positive, then, hey, that could have been a great sign for our market. But no, unfortunately, we had a bit of sell-off. So you can see here that 15-week moving average, whilst it's turned upwards, we need, in my view, to wait for it to cross through that 30-week moving average before we start looking at any potential buying opportunities and that sort of thing with our market. It's just really a wait and see as to what is going to happen. But that is definitely a red flag for me. I've got definitely a full set of rules, which is what you need to do when you're trading shares, buying, selling. In my view, you need to have a list written down as to what your entry criteria is. Make sure you stick to it. And also what your selling criteria is. And I've spoken about setting stop losses on shares. And that's really important because that's what takes me out of the market. It means that I do not have any emotion or anything like that in my shares. So for this reason alone, I'm not looking at buying any new shares. I want to see this main board. The 15-week has crossed through the 30, and obviously I want to see that market in an uptrend. Could just be going through a little bit of a consolidation phase where markets do go sideways before they rally again, but only time will tell. And the big thing to remember as well with investing, in my view, never ever feel like you have to place trades in the market and try to force something to happen, because there will always be opportunities in the markets, okay? They will change, they will be different, but there will always be opportunities. So never force or feel like you have to make a decision on trading, because that's the wrong time to be doing that. Now, on that note, I've had a request as well for maybe a training session on Sharesies. So I have asked Sharesies about that, and I'm just waiting for an answer back, basically on how to use the platform. But if you'd like something like that, or maybe on a platform that you're using or you'd like to use that you're not familiar with, I personally use Tiger Trader, and they've recently opened up for New Zealand investors or New Zealand share trading as well. So I'm happy to run a training session on that, show you how to do it. And if you'd like that sort of thing, let me know and what sort of things you'd like to learn. And by all means, I can certainly create a training session. I'm thinking if we do a live or something like that, then obviously we can get your feedback at the same time and I can be presenting based on exactly what you're wanting to know. So let me know in the comments and we can go and draft something. And also on Thursday, I'm doing a review on Port of Tauranga if you want to come across and take a look at that. And as always, if there is a share that you'd like me to review, let me know. More than happy to do it. So take care.